this is Mr. Markland with Unlimited Possibilities Martial Arts. What we're going to get into today is a little bit of what we call entering. We did a video a little bit ago on boxing and entering boxing, but we're going to talk about actually entering in on this video. Okay, I actually had some video footage of entering, but it kind of messed up, so I'm going to have Mr. Adam come in and help me real quick on this topic of entering. Okay, so we're going to start here in this position. So there's different ways. If we start off from a self-defense idea of entering, we all know that self-defense is just simply defending yourself, doing what you can to get away from somebody, which has nothing to do with, you know, MMA or that sort of combat. So from right here, let's say I'm standing here and we have some sort of altercation where this guy's trying to maybe take something or rob me, and I have to defend myself in that case, right? So if he were to come in, what I don't want to do on someone coming to attack, I don't want to get back away or just kind of get my hands up and move too far back like this, trying to get way out of the way. Of course, in self-defense, you do want to get back, but if you move back, then they're just going to keep coming, especially if this person's angry at you, then definitely they're just going to keep coming after you, trying to get what they want or do what they're going to do, right? So in this case, instead of trying to get away, we're going to do what we call entering, right? So he's coming in to come and do something. I want to actually come in, put my hands up still, but I want to come in, okay? Now, after I come in, now from right here, then I can start to strike, right? Which in this case, I'm just going to use the palm, right? And I'm going to strike the face coming across, and I can elbow if I want, knee, right? Drop the hand down, whatever. But to keep it really simple, if I'm here and he's going to come in, it doesn't matter if he punches or grabs me, no, grab me. Yeah, if he grabs me, it doesn't matter. I'm just putting my hands up. The hands are exactly the same, okay? So if he were to try to grab me with one hand, I still put my hands up. I'm entering. I'm going on the inside of him, right? And in this case, I'm here, so I can grab, I can headbutt if I want to, the knee, because my hand is there. I can elbow, then come here, knee, whatever, turn the head, right? That sort of thing. So, okay. Okay, so the idea of entering is you're coming in, bringing your hands up. In this case, what we're using is starting with your hands up from a self-defense idea, keeping our hands up, and then we can enter in, right? Now, if this is a self-defense idea where it's like life and death is what I'm talking about. Now, there's different stages of self-defense, right? There's more where you're out and about, or if you're at a party or something like that. And that's a different way of doing self-defense than if someone's coming at you with a broken bottle or a knife or something that's all out. You're going to seriously hurt this person at that point. But if this person's just drunk and like if you elbow on and knock them out, and you know, they can end up dying because they're choking on their own, whatever, right? So you have to be careful about what you do, and you have to make sure the level of power and attack and violence and strength matches the situation, okay? So if he comes in, right, or maybe he's just drunk, right, and he just grabs me and he won't leave me alone or whatever, now's not the time for me to elbow, knee, smash his nose and that sort of thing, right? So, you know, if he were drunk and he's grabbing me and he's trying to swing at me, this is really simple to just be able to look, man, it's okay. All right? You're just basically keeping your hands up and using the same idea, but all you're doing is you're stopping him. Okay, man. No, notice I'm going to the back. It's okay. Are you okay? It's okay. Okay, so stuff like that is really good as far as defense against somebody that maybe is drunk. So that's one level of dealing with somebody that is maybe in an environment where you're hanging out or something like that. Then another thing we can talk about is combative, like if you're sparring or if you're doing like MMA or something, okay? Entering while doing MMA or sparring, which that's a whole different thing. A lot of people don't realize that. Self-defense In self-defense, the other person isn't expecting you to do something, because in self-defense, the factor is that person's trying to attack you. They're not really thinking of you defending yourself. They're just thinking they're going to hit you and do what they want to do. In MMA, it's totally different. This person is trained and you're trained, or in sparring or whatever form it's going to take. That person is trained and you're trained. So now this person's going to be careful coming in. They're not going to be sloppy at all. They're not expecting to perfectly hit you perfect every time. They're keeping their guard up and striking. You're keeping your guard up and you're finding what you can do, right? So that might be a little bit, this might be a little bit more of an intelligence entering, right? So if we're here, our hands are up like this, right? If he's coming in, I might have to pat, just like as if you're sparring kind of, yeah, there you go. So I might have to pat and move, right? I may not just sit there and come in, or I'm definitely not going to do maybe like more of a pass and a like straight blast or something like that, right? I may just pat and come in. So we're sparring, and I may just hit, yep, and we're moving like this. So he's guarding, I'm guarding, and we're seeing who can develop better as you're going, right? So it's a lot different when you enter. Now in this case, you have to enter, when you're sparring, you have to enter with intelligent ideas. And what I mean by that is, so if we're sparring here like this, I may use what we call a distance intelligence, which would be a distance taking move, which would be a stop hit, right? Okay, so if he's coming in to attack me, I might hit him with my longest weapon and then come in. Okay, that works really good on the street too, except you go probably to the legs more than you go to the stomach. You could do it to the stomach if you had the flexibility and really good, what's the word? If your precision is good, then you could do that. But if it's not, then you can't, okay? Okay, so that's something you could do. You could stop hit him, right? In this case, if I'm coming in and swinging, he could block and strike, right? So he could block and strike me back, right? If he can catch that. And he enters when he does that, right? So he's not going to stay out there and block and strike, because he's not going to hit me out there. He's going to enter and strike, right? Okay, so that's another thing that you can do, a real basic one. Another thing you can do to enter is you can fake to enter. You can fake while entering, right? So if we're here like this, and maybe he fakes up high, and I go like this and he punches low, he just entered through my guard because I was expecting that hit up here, and now he enters through the guard, right? So that's a faking way of entering. Another thing that he could do is he could just overwhelm me with just combinations. He could just combo me to death, right? And that's when you do that, you work up and down the body. If you do that, if we're talking about MMA or sparring, that really messes people up. If we're here like this and he's throwing techniques high, low, low, high, and just working up the body, okay? Or if I'm doing it, I'll do it this time. So if I'm here like this and I go low and I go high and I go medium, low, high, and I'm just working up and down the body, it can mess the person up, right? And then if you're switching from straight strikes to circular strikes, all those things are factors, okay? So real basic, that's super basic stuff. But what you do is you can use that to enter, right? In the case of, let's say Wing Chun, or not Wing Chun, let's say JKD, that might be easier to do this one. So in the case of JKD, if I'm coming in, he could come over my strike and just straight blast me to death, right? So if I'm he could just boom, 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 and just, but now when he did that, he wouldn't stay out there, he would enter in, right? So if I come to the strike, he would just keep coming, right? Okay, so that would be another form of entering, right? Where you're coming in right after someone strikes. You just do a quick parry, or you can just blast through their hand. Another thing is, if we're here like this, and this is the more of the Filipino / Silat / Indonesian way of entering, right? So he's coming in, I can enter off this strike, and I can actually hit from the entering position like that, right? I can also, if we're talking about Silat, if he's standing there and he's trying to come in, I can actually hit his hands and come in and enter using the striking method to strike the hands down and then enter that way. So that's another thing that you can do, which is kind of similar to Chinese way, but not exactly. So Another way you can do, when we're talking about Indonesian arts, is he's coming in and I can turn him, right? Then I can come here, knee, and then I can, right? So all these different things that you can do to be able to enter using different ideas and different techniques, okay? So there's, like I said, there's a lot of ways to enter. If you're doing just a regular boxing enter, right? He's coming in to strike, and I just slip his punch, and I give him a punch. I mean, super simple. We talked about that, I think, on the last video. So many ways to enter. Some of my favorite ways is if that person's coming up, and I might strike the hand, pull them in and strike them, then come, right? And enter that way. Now that would be more like someone's trying to attack my family or something, right? If I'm sparring, I wouldn't do that, but in that case, I could do something like that. I could, if I got caught off guard, if he grabbed me and he started trying to rapid punch me, I might come like this, and I might just crowd and enter like that, to where I could come in and I could start using my knees, and I could start maybe elbowing or striking here and chopping the neck and then coming in. So that's another way that you could do it as far as entering. I'm trying to keep it really, really simple so that you can kind of see. I like the veering and the angling of some of the silat styles, where he comes in and they go like this. They'll strike here, and then they'll turn the person, right? And then they'll break that arm, right? Or they'll come up, pull them back, and grab them and strike, pull them in, right? Upward, downward, turn them, all that kind of fun stuff. And just really throws the person off. It really disorients the person. They don't know which way they're going. So it makes it a lot easier to strike them, because you're putting them in positions that they're going, where am I? What am I doing? So that's one of the benefits of those arts, if you understand how to get people in those type of positions where they're just in awkward positions and they can't really strike you because they don't even know where they are themselves. So anyway, that's good. That's what I wanted to talk about. Just a little bit of entering today, and yeah, that's going to be our video for today. Don't forget to like and subscribe. If you like and subscribe, no, I'm just kidding. I was going to say get it, no. But if you're liking our content, and no, we will see you on the next video.